Australians attacking.
It's now or never for Team India.
Hazelwood has 3.
After a horror show in the opening ODI at the SCG, India will look to avoid a series loss. Australia, on the other hand, will look to seal the deal with an unassailable 2-0 lead.
And he picks it up beautifully.
The Indian bowling fell flat as the Aussies posted a mammoth 374 for 6 and batted the men in blue out of the game.
Scratchy in the IPL, but he's floored right through this innings. Maxwell.
Skipper Virat Kohli was short on options and had to stick with his frontline bowlers.
Maxwell has gone leg side, and that's another big one. Oh dear, oh dear.
In the batting department, the Indians could not cope with the short stuff and will hope for a better outing in the second ODI. All eyes will be on Virat Kohli, who played an uncharacteristic inning in the series opener and was dismissed cheaply for 21.
Virat Kohli departs.
Doesn't happen again.
Oh, there he goes.
Hardik Pandya justified his selection as a pure batsman with a gutsy 90 and will look to continue the good work.
And another boundary, this time the maximum.
Oh, down the ground.
The men in blue have lost their last 4 ODI games and another loss will hand them back-to-back series defeats.
Test match in Sydney, clean.
Sports Bureau, India Today.
He's so good doing that. Shami had no answer to it.
You're watching Thunder Down Under. I am Sushant Mehta. Well, let me introduce our guests. First up, Harbhajan Singh, the magician with the ball, bamboozled the greatest Australian side of all time. How good would it been to use Harbhajan Singh in Australia right now? Harbhajan, thank you for joining us. Also joining us, our consulting editor, Boria Majumdar. Firstly, Harbhajan Singh, a very demoralizing start to the series for India. How does a team lift itself from a loss like that, and what do the Indians need to do tomorrow?
I think, to be honest, India need to lift their game and of course play the cricket we know they can play, and we have been watching them play over the years. It was like one of those days where India didn't bat well, didn't bowl well, and off day for everyone. I think everyone need to understand and lift their game, and I'm sure once that will happen, we'll be good again.
As Bhaji said, we didn't bat well, we didn't bowl well. Most importantly, we didn't field well at all. That cannot happen anymore. And Virat Kohli, remember, he said after 25-26 overs bowled by India, the body language, it was a defeatist sort of an attitude. So what needs to change? Again, I'm asking you that question.
If you really think what needs to change, everything needs to change. Having said that, nothing needs to change. It was one of those bad days, you forget it, you move on. At the start of a series in Australia, when you've not played ODI cricket for what, 9 months now, 8 months now, it is bound to happen. You've all played is what, 2020 cricket, and that too is franchise-based 2020 cricket, which is IPL. So this was the first long format game, that national team game that the Indians played. While taking nothing away from Australia, I think India will be far better on Sunday, which is tomorrow, and they will lift their game. Any team that travels down under will find it difficult. However many practice sessions you have under your belt, it will be the first couple of games which will be difficult. But this Indian side is good enough to pull their socks up and get going from here on. I think it will be a much, much improved performance on Sunday.
Right, Harbhajan Singh, in the first match, the absence of an extra bowler hurt India big time, which even Virat Kohli acknowledged later. He said he may have to get a few overs from the part-timers, but where will these overs come from, especially when Hardik Pandya is not bowling?
Well, I think more than the part-timer, I think our frontline bowlers, they need to bowl better lengths in Australia. Australia is a place where all the fast bowlers gets excited with the bounce, they get. I think, in next couple of games, what India they have to bowl better length. And of course, when it comes to bowling the 6th bowling option, I think Virat is the only option who could bowl a bit of seam in Australia. Otherwise, we know that there are couple of guys who can bowl a bit of leg spin, someone like Shreyas Iyer, but I have not seen him much bowling in the nets. But a Virat Kohli would be the only option who could bowl you those 3-4 overs. But I would, urge fast bowlers to bowl better length, and I'm sure once they will come good, everything will be sorted. Then you don't need to bowl your sixth extra bowler.
Right, Harbhajan Singh, any changes in the game that you would like to see? Left arm seamer Tina Trajan maybe in place of Navdeep Saini, who we are told did complain of back spasms before the first game.
Well, as long as Navdeep Saini is fit, I would still like to play Navdeep Saini. He's fast, he's quick, and of course, he's someone, who's a proven player. He's been there with the team for quite a while now, so he understands the pressure better than the newcomers. So I think I would like to stick with Navdeep Saini if he's fully fit. And if he's not fully fit, if he's got any niggle or spasm, then yes, left arm seamer would not be a bad option.
Boria, any changes for you? I know that you would also like to stick with Navdeep Saini, but we do not know, as I said, his injury concern. How serious is that?
I don't think the injury concern is serious. That's what I hear from Team India sources in Australia, and it's just been one game. And I keep saying it, it's been one game. Give them a little bit of time. I'm pretty much sure that Navdeep too will, somebody who's bowling 145, 150 is an asset. And they're trying to build Navdeep Saini for that test match in Adelaide. At this point in time, the Indian think tank thinks it will be Bumrah, Shami and Navdeep Saini who will lead your red ball attack. If that's the case, give him more and more confidence. The white ball series is actually the trailer. The real action is that test series. This is a build-up. You cannot just drop him after one game. So I wouldn't drop Navdeep Saini unless what you said, injury, and I've not heard anything from the think tank which tells me that there is a serious injury.
All right, you've got Aaron Finch, David Warner, Labuschagne, all these guys, Maxwell even coming to the party. But the million-dollar question is, Harbhajan Singh, how do you stop someone like Steve Smith?
Well, the easiest way to stop Steve Smith is to get him out early on. And if I was captain or if I was part of the management team, I would, start Yuzvendra Chahal straight away. Whenever Steve Smith comes down to bat, I would like to see Steve Smith facing spin rather than fast bowling, because he's too good against the fast bowling, especially in Australia, where the ball doesn't swing and doesn't do much. And he loved batting against the fast bowling. So I would like him to start against spin, and that's where, India will have a better chance to get him out early.
Yeah, right. I'm backing Yuzvendra Chahal to get Steve Smith out cheaply in the next game, which is tomorrow. But Boria, let's look at the positive side here. I mean, despite the fact that 4 of our big guns, the biggest ones, failed in the first match, we still managed to get 308. And they are not going to fail every day. KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, Mayank Agarwal, Shreyas Iyer. So I think the batting has to click now in the second game. It's now or never, because if you lose the one-day series, this is it. If you lose this match, you lose the one-day series. You do not want to go into the T20 series having lost the one-day series.
I agree with you. I agree with you that it's an important contest and that the top order will not fail every day. And if you see the balls through which they got out, Rahul got out to a ranked, full toss. He just hit it straight to short cover. Those kind of shots will not happen every day, and they are too good. The batting lineup is just too good to fail like that every single time. And I was very, very impressed with the Hardik innings. And of course, the partnership between Dhawan and Hardik to get to 310. I frankly thought they will get all out 250, because when you have 374 on the board, you collapse. That didn't happen. So that tells me they will get back. They will. And when you mentioned about the positives, the positive is also to bat deep. I mean, they kept going. They kept chasing. That was also important. So I'm pretty much sure that the top order will come good.
As well, talking about Hardik Pandya, he was the star with the bat for India in the first one-day international. His heroics with the bat earned him a fan in the Aussie camp. Adam Zampa believes Hardik is one of the best when it comes to hitting the spinners out of the park. Listen in.
It's a few.
Yes, he is explosive when he gets going, Hardik Pandya. But Harbhajan Singh, Mayank Agarwal gets out to the short ball. Virat Kohli out to the short ball. Shreyas Iyer again out to the short ball. Did Australia expose India's inability to play the short stuff, the fast-paced short balls?
See, we need to understand India is touring Australia, and Australian team, they know the conditions better than the Indian team. And of course, any team goes to Australia, they always find it difficult because bounce is slightly different than what you normally get to play in Sharjah, Dubai, or in Indian condition or Asian condition. When you have a higher bounce in Australia, so batting becomes slightly difficult, up front with the new ball. But once you settle there, then you can score a lot of runs. And I'm sure this batting lineup have got enough power with Mayank, with Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, Shikhar Dhawan. They are all quality players. And it'll gonna come down to once they'll get adjust to that bounce, which takes time, and I'm sure they're gonna score a lot of runs there. And we have seen what happened in 2018. They batted beautifully, they batted brilliantly in the Test matches, and they put a lot of runs on the board. And what happened in the end? India winning the series. So that's exactly will happen. We need to understand it was the first game, and we can't really expect much. Yes, we still got 308 runs on the board, which was great thing. Hardik Pandya was fantastic, but I think batting up front, you need to face a lot of balls, and you need to bat a lot in the nets to get used to of that bounce. Once they will get used to of the bounce, the batting will become very easy, and it'll be very good for all the batters once they get used to of the bounce.
No doubt about it. I firmly believe we have the better batting lineup, and that the Indians are going to score much more than what we saw in the first game. Harbhajan Singh, thank you so much for joining us. But Boria, Majumdar, what worries me is the bowling, because we do not have that sixth option. So what's going to happen with that? You told me last time when we discussed this that Virat could bowl a few overs, because he was talking about those part-timers. So is it going to happen? Are we going to see Virat Kohli bowling tomorrow?
See, the most important thing is if you pick wickets, automatically whether it is Virat Kohli who bowls or Shreyas Iyer who bowls, will have no pressure. Because if you pick 3 or 4 Australian wickets, say for 120 runs, they are 120 for what? 3 or 4 in say 24, 25 overs. At that point in time, it's pretty much easy for any part-timer to come in and bowl 3 overs for 15, 20 runs and get away. That's what you've got to do. Your frontline bowlers will have to pick wickets to get it ready for the part-timers. Because if you then think, no, 120 for no loss in 20, and I will get Virat Kohli to bowl 3 overs, he'll go for 35 of the 3 overs. So that's the important part. Bumrah, Shami, Navdeep Saini, Yuzvendra Chahal will have to deliver wickets. The moment they are able to deliver wickets, you can come in with any part-timer, be it Virat, be it Shreyas, get them to bowl 2-3 overs and move on.
Shami was outstanding, Boria, but Bumrah, we all know what he's capable of. In my book, he's the best in the world. Do you think he was a tad bit short, short length, didn't get his length right? So much more room for improvement there for Bumrah, because he has to bowl well for India to win. Otherwise, we have got no chance.
Agreed. He was not the best at all. If you really see the line that he was bowling to Aaron Finch, it was down leg. Even to other batsmen, he was constantly on the leg stump and was getting hit fine leg, square leg. That is not the Jasprit that you know, but that happens. I mean, I keep saying it was the first game of 50 over cricket since March. I mean, that series that got cancelled in March, from then on to now, India has not played one long format game. Intra-squad matches don't mean anything. So the first game, it was rusty. The team didn't look the part. All of these players needed a bit of time to get in. Think of the IPL. You keep talking the IPL. I know you love it. At the start of the IPL, Jasprit wasn't looking Jasprit. And then as the tournament wore on, you started saying he's the best in the world. Give him a little bit of time. Even in international cricket, Jasprit Bumrah is just too good to not deliver for too long.
No doubt about it. Now let's talk about two of your friends, Boria. Firstly, I think David Warner was very good in the first match. He carried that from the IPL to the first match. Obviously, Aaron Finch got a century, Steve Smith got a century, so he got a little overshadowed. So David Warner plus KL Rahul. Now we know that Glenn Maxwell actually apologized to KL Rahul for his dismal performance in the IPL. So a little fun moments there, and both your friends, Rahul and David Warner.
Yeah, and both are quality players. I mean, if you really see Dave Warner was better than Aaron Finch at the start of the innings.
No
if you
doubt
really
about
go and see, Finchy was not to Jadeja, for example. Aaron Finch could have gotten out 5 to 6 times.
Yes.
Even that third umpire, referral umpire's call, etc. That was constantly happening with Finch. Not so with Warner. So yes, Davy Warner is a quality act. If you see, he's gotten to 5,000 runs, the fastest ever in Australian cricket history. He's a top quality player, and so is KL Rahul. KL Rahul at number 5 is an absolute peach for India. The way he got out to Adam Zampa, the way he started, cut against against Mitchell Stark was brilliant, right? So for KL Rahul to get out in a rather unnatural fashion to a full toss is not going to happen every day. So I think both teams were rusty. I mean, if you see, India was bad, Australia was bad as well. They got 40 runs or 50 runs in the first 4 overs with half the runs from extras.
Plus their bowlers also got smashed. Remember that. Stark got smashed,
So
Cummins got smashed. Yes.
Now, both of these teams will take a bit of time to get into groove, and it will become a high-quality cricket series as time goes on.
We are hoping for a smashing Indian comeback. Well, Boria, it's time for a short break now. On the other side, an exclusive chat with Australian legend Glenn McGrath on the impact of Virat Kohli's absence in the Test series. Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Down Under. I'm Sushant Mehta. The Indian team did not start well in the limited overs leg of the tour. The visitors now stare at a series loss, and all eyes will be on one man, Virat Kohli. Remember, the Indian skipper will return home after the first test. So how badly will India miss King Kohli during the 4 test series? Here's what the greatest of all time, the legend Glenn McGrath, has to say. Listen in, and I'll see you next time on Thunder Down Under.
I'm sure the Australians love the battle the hard way, and with the Virat Kohli pulling out of the Test series, I mean, just playing 1 Test match, does that take out the charm of the series? Does that take out India's chances out of the series?
Well, it's a massive blow for India. There's no doubt about that. He's one of the best batsmen in the world, and the captain. And when he's playing well, it has a positive impact on the team. So, yeah, to have him in the team is brilliant. To have him not playing, I think, is a massive blow and will have an impact in the series. You know, and if Australia goes on to win, they'll say, "Oh, that's because Virat's not there." But it does. You know, I know he's got his. I think is it his first child coming or soon. So you know, that's a big moment in your life, and you know, he wants to be there. So I guess you know I can understand that. But it will be a big blow for the series.
Would India miss Virat, the batsman, more, or would they miss him as a captain? A captain or a batsman? What was it is that India is going to miss more?
Well, probably both. You know, we've spoken about that he is a class batsman. There's no doubt about that. And the way he goes about it, and once he gets set, he can go on and score some big runs. But I think it's more than that. He's a captain. It's his attitude, and just he's quite aggressive, and he's a lot of energy, and he's always here and there, and he's getting around. He's in the batsmen's faces. He's talking to his bowlers. So I think that impact that he has when he's confident, when he's doing well, has a massive positive effect on the whole team. And yeah, there's not too many like him. In world cricket, let alone within the Indian team. So I think as a captain, as a personality, just the way he holds himself, and that will be missed, you know, but definitely his runs will be missed as well. But him as a captain, that'll be a big blow too.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.